Ross, those 13 equations are describing the surface of the cup of the Holy Grail. The goblet of the Holy Grail is c² construction of 3 pi ratios. Pi natural, pi real, golden ratio pi, and resultant pi. And for resultant pi can be 22/7. The surface of that cup is pure force. Right? So this is God within a rock. If you had a rock and you broke open the surface, you broke it open, you'd see a surface. Did that surface exist before you broke open the rock? Or did the surface only exist at the surface? The surface just has to render the rest, its strength of the surface that should lie inside. It can render that strength in its surface, and the surface doesn't have to exist. If we open the box and the cat is dead or alive, what do we find? We find a surface. Of course we'll find a surface. What does that prove? It proves that we're idiots. Because the force that creates the surface exists. Therefore, if you break open something, you'll find another surface. And if you keep looking, if you go smaller and smaller and smaller, and bigger and bigger and bigger, depending on which direction you're looking, smaller is out, you find force. And that force is the standing wave on the goblet of c². So you've got the goblet constructed from 3 pi's. Tension and bending and shear force flow captured in a single hemisphere. The wave function is a yin-yang of tension and bending with 2 masses with a 6:1 ratio, Earth and Moon, and diameters between them, with a second moment of area bending between the 2, and that the center bent. So draw the line up to the moon, twist around and come back with the belt in the middle, twisted belt to the moon. That's the centroid of bending of the second moment of area existing outside the mass. And that's tiny inside at the surface of these 2 balls are floating on the surface of the goblet of the Holy Grail, creating a twisting force, providing they keep twisting. Just the tiniest motion of motion twisting around each other, they keep the elastic band tightening. They're just tightening the elastic band all the time. At the center here, it's an easy clockwork mechanism, just wind it up. And that the resultant of forces is so massive, just got to keep winding it. So the standing force is now the yin-yang. See the shape of the force. There's 2 shapes there. So now you see the yin-yang traditional with the 6:1 ratios there between the balls, the eyes of the 2 babies. And then see it as a vortex. So now you look at it from the side and look at where the 2 balls are and draw a vortex under one, and that vortex goes out, and then the vortex goes over the top. It's like the ear. Drawing I've done of it, it's the elastic and force. You see the elastic membrane and the force created. Your equations are the circumference of the cup of the Holy Grail. And you've created the Ark of the Covenant. All you're saying is that the starting angle of the vector axis that's created from all this motion, there's a vector axis created from the bobbing ball. A ball is bobbing half in, half out of a liquid, and it's bobbing motion. That vector axis angle on which it orbits is different at the start than it is at the end, because energy has been added through all the energy ratios that you show, because they move in different directions. The scalar and the n move in different vectors. Watch the way that the energies flow together. There's 2 waves meeting together at a point, creating G down there at the bottom, creating the solid moments to push back from. So it's the Ark of the Covenant, and the covenant is our behaviour. If we live under Christ's greatest commandment, love our God and love our neighbour and love ourselves, understand what love means, informed through understanding of who God is, what God is, and it means that our angle is increased when we get to the end, and so the spark is bigger, and so there's more consciousness, more energy, more life. And so the Lyme's disease that you've set out to, I realise where your fire comes from, my friends, and my fire was the same. I got sectioned over those fuckers, just asking questions. Apparently you're not allowed to ask questions about E = mc². Have a fucking olanzapine in your ass, my friend. That's what they did to me. And I went, well, fuck you. And they've done the same to you, my friend. You've also had an injection in your ass. And this is the information that nails them, my friends. All my friends, all you pirates, we've done it. You know, couldn't have never done it alone. It's done. The Holy Grail is the surface of pure force. But you can describe it now in two ways. Elastic plastic modulus, it's the solid modulus created at the base. And the future begins, because the liars in science are exposed. Their pants are down. And it's up to us what we decide to do. And forgiveness is the way this is going to go. But there'll be some slaves, because those people have got some work to do to make up for what they've done to us. And they can show us the Star Trek world and be nice to us, can't they? We deserve it, my friend. We deserve a rest, a holiday for the pirates and all the good people. This is the moment, the end times, the winnowing. It's obvious now where the weeds are, where the wheat is. What's wheat and what is weeds? One will be harvested and one will be ripped up and burned. Yeah, it's truly where we are. Welcome to the future. Well done. Really well done. Follow the Rebel King.